see. I was going to extremes, losing sight of all my dreams again. I never thought I'd win. I was blinded by the pain, running wild through the rain in a parody of ecstasy.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Cracka, which is comics, reviews, awesome movies, comedy, and anything else I think kicks ass. This is episode number 26, and as you can see, it's about video game movies. Some of the crap ones, some of the good ones, and some of the actually really cool ones. I don't have a lot of clips on a lot of them because it would definitely draw this episode into the nether regions of like 1,000 parts, like my Punisher. So I'm gonna kind of try to cut certain things here and there, but let's get into the first movie. Like I said, it's in no particular order, but just gonna go through them. First movie, The Wizard. I saw this in the theaters when I was a kid, and I mean I grew up with Atari, so then when Nintendo came out, it was like it blew my mind. I'm like, oh my god, that's so much better than a little cube going through a maze. But this is actually pretty cool. Nintendo was extremely smart in their little promotional kind of things. This came out right before Super Mario Bros. 3 came out, and if you ever played Super Mario Bros. 3, you know that's an awesome, awesome game. And basically, at the end of this movie, I'm not gonna really throw any spoiler alerts up there because chances are everyone's already seen this already. But the end of this movie, they basically the little dude right here, he basically he's the wizard, but he gets to play a brand new game at the time, which was Super Mario Bros. 3. The whole point of the movie basically is Fred Savage. This is his half brother, and apparently he became somewhat of had a mental breakdown because he saw his sister die in a river thing, drowning kind of thing. So Fred Savage basically sets out to get him out of the mental institution, and you know they go to California and whole big thing. But like I said, this was actually pretty cool back in the day. I still love it because I think it's a classic. They also introduced the Power Glove, which was basically the Wii back then, in a way. But it's a good movie. I mean, if I had to give it a rating, I'd probably give it like a 9. I wouldn't give it a 10 because actually, you know what? I probably would give it a 10. It's a cool movie. It's definitely worth buying. Moving on, because I have a lot of stuff to cover. One of the biggest bombs and pieces of crap movie to ever hit out of a video game, and before I even put it up, people already know what I'm talking about, and that is the Super Mario Brothers. Oh my god. This is a perfect example of what not to do with a video game movie. Basically, it's got Bob Hoskins as Mario, which was pretty cool because he didn't make a bad Mario. And John Leguizamo was Luigi, which wasn't too bad. I mean, you know, who the hell is she going to get, you know? I usually don't like to badmouth stuff. Like, I try to keep stuff on the positive. But this was one of the biggest piece of shit movies I've ever seen. I wouldn't even give it a rating. I mean, if there was a shit-o-meter, I'd give it a 10. But anyway, they have Yoshi in there, who basically makes, you know, no sense, pretty much kind of like the movie. I mean, he's a dinosaur, but he doesn't have any of his little things. And they have the bombs in here that you wind up that are, you know, I guess massive explosions. That kind of sucked. The mushrooms do not make you grow. They turn into shields. They don't have fireballs. They have flamethrowers, which I guess would make sense in a way. But it's just sad. It's just really a sad movie, and it's really not even worth, you know, talking about. I know everyone's like, oh, why'd you buy it then? The truth is, I actually got this as a gift from my mother, so I wasn't going to get rid of it. But she's like, oh, we saw it in the movies. You liked it, right? I'm like, oh, yeah. But anyway, moving on. I'm not even going to give that one a real rating. Let's move on to Tomb Raider. Angelina Jolie. She actually is a pretty damn good Lara Croft. She fills it out nicely. This one actually wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I'd give this one probably an 8 because it definitely followed the game in a way, and it was a good action movie. It was pretty good. You know, it's worth watching. The second one I did not buy because I thought the second one blew. I just didn't like the second one, The Cradle of Life. Some people did. I mean, there were some pretty cool parts in it. I'm not gonna, you know, totally bash it, but it wasn't as good as the first one. I thought the first one was a lot better. Moving on. Hitman. I actually thought this movie was pretty damn good. I'd probably give it a 9 because I just liked it. It fit the game. They had some stuff that that it was in the game that they put in the movie, like when he uses syringes to knock you out and different ways he does it. I mean, he's a hitman, so you got to figure out stuff. A lot of people said this movie sucked. I mean, I thought it was cool. I mean, it was an action movie that I liked watching, and it stayed kind of true to the game, and it's cool. Check this one out. You'll like that one. Moving on. Trying to get through them real fast. Another one is Blood Rain. This actually I liked. I thought it was cool. Kristanna Loken actually is pretty cool as Rain. It's kind of like Blade in a way. I mean, she hunts down vampires and kind of eats them to but to survive basically. But it wasn't bad. It's got Michelle Rodriguez in it, which I like Michelle Rodriguez, and I like Kristanna Loken, so that's why I like that one. I'd probably give this one an 8 because it was cool, but it didn't have too much action, which kind of sucked. It was kind of like but it was much better than number 2. People were telling me number 2 was really good, and number 2 actually sucks balls. I read the back, and the cover looked cool, and that's why they say never go buy a cover. But it's supposed to be like Jesse James and the Outlaw stuff, but no, it sucked. It's not even. I mean, if you want to rent it, I don't even know if it's even worth the buck at the dollar bin. But good luck. This I'd probably give like a 1 if I had to give anything. Moving on, sticking with the horror. As you can see, like I said, I don't have any clips really on anything because some of the ones just like I said ain't really worth going into the clips. But moving on, Resident Evil. I'm not a mega huge fan of the game. Like most people are like, oh, the game's the best game in the world. It is a damn good survival horror game. I'll give you that. But it always pissed me off in the game. You go around, you get like one clip, and I know it's not supposed to be like shoot the guys and then move on. But sometimes, it's a hard game. I'm not gonna lie on that one. It's a bitch, but it is cool. Anyway, onto the movie. This actually was cool. I'd give this one a 9 because it did follow the movie in certain the movie. It did follow the game in certain ways. Alice is a weird character. We'll get into that, but it was pretty good. It's definitely worth watching. Moving on to its many sequels, Resident Evil Apocalypse. I thought this was really cool. They had Nemesis in here. They introduced him. It had a lot of cool zombie stuff. My only problem with this one is the fact that some of the cool fights were like sped up, which pisses me off no end. They're in a graveyard and all the zombies are coming out of the graveyard and they just speed it all up and you're kind of like trying to figure out what the hell just happened, and that annoys me. I hate when they pull that crap. I'd give this one a 9 as well, so that's a pretty good one. Moving on to another sequel, Resident Evil Extinction. Basically, you find out that Alice, in the second one, you find out that she's like a product of Umbrella. But in this one, you find out she's got telekinetic powers now. Which I don't think was really necessary, but I guess, they figured what the hell. And in this one, they tried to like domesticate zombies and try to, I guess, like, kind of like in Shaun of the Dead, where they use the zombies as workers kind of thing. But this wasn't bad either. I'd give this one a 9, other than telekinetic powers. I thought it was cool, but it was also annoying. So it was kind of like, yeah. But anyway, moving on to the latest one of them, the Resident Evil Afterlife. Bit of an overkill with Resident Evils, but that one I'd give a 9 too because it was pretty cool. All the Resident Evil ones, it's almost like one really long movie, if you really go at it, because it kind of gives you pieces here, it gives you pieces there, which is pretty cool. So you gotta give them credit on that. They're doing a good job of Resident Evil, and Paul Anderson, I always like. I thought he was a good director, and you'll see one of his other movies in the video game section, which most people probably already know. I'm gonna get into that one, but the only problem I have with this one was I can't stand when they do the I don't mind when they do the bullet time, the slow motion stuff, which is kind of cool, but I hate it when they have like people go like so annoying. But anyway, before I get into the other ones, I'm gonna cut it here and make this a part 1 because, like I said, I have a lot of other ones to go over, and the other ones actually will have a lot of clips. So I'm going to cut it here, and I will see you on part 2. Come back, and like I have a lot of other ones to show you. So come back for part 2. See you later.